The All Blacks have done it again. They've secured an 8th straight victory over Australia, holding on to win 31-28 in a nail-biter at Sydney's Accor Stadium. The Bledisloe Cup will remain in New Zealand for yet another year, continuing their streak since 2002. This game was packed with drama. New Zealand flew out of the gates with 4 tries in the first 25 minutes. The Wallabies tried to stage a heroic comeback, but fell just short, closing the gap to 3 points in the final minute. It started with Jordie Barrett weaving through the Wallabies' defense in just over a minute to set up Will Jordan for the first try. The All Blacks didn't stop there. By the 15th minute, they were up 21-0, with Rieko Ione and Caleb Clark adding their names to the score sheet. It was complete domination early on. At one point, it looked like they might run away with the match, but Australia clawed their way back with 2 tries in the final minutes, cutting the deficit to just 3 points. New Zealand's defense held strong, though. Even with 2 yellow cards late in the game, the All Blacks kept the Wallabies from taking the lead. Coach Scott Robertson, who must have been sweating after the team's recent struggles in the Rugby Championship, will surely be relieved that his squad pulled through. They may have bombed several try opportunities, but they did just enough to secure the win and keep the Bledisloe Cup safely in their hands. To wrap it up, the All Blacks' incredible start and tough defense earned them a thrilling 31-28 victory over the Wallabies. Despite some shaky moments and missed tries, they held on to ensure their 22nd straight year with the Bledisloe Cup. Now, the big question is, can they maintain this momentum in the Rugby Championship? Wilson has made a bold claim about the new players coming through compared to his time in the Test setup. Former All Blacks winger Jeff Wilson has made a bold claim about the new players coming through compared to his time in the Test setup. Wilson played 60 times for New Zealand, making his debut in 1993 and featuring for the final time in 2001. Now a pundit with Sky Sports NZ, the former outside back has bemoaned the quality of coaching in New Zealand from the grassroots up to the highest level. He believes that the competitions in New Zealand, the NPC and Super Rugby, are not adequately preparing young players, both male and female, sufficiently for professional rugby. His views came after the All Blacks' back-to-back defeats at the hands of the Springboks, while the Black Ferns fell to a 24-12 loss at Twickenham against the Red Roses. Wilson zoned in on the women's loss to England and believed that New Zealand rugby failed to prepare them adequately for the fixture, and because of that, they went into the fixture undercooked. The Black Ferns hadn't played a test or a game since July 14th, and that was against Australia. They were back-to-back tests where we absolutely walloped them, and then we were expected in the middle of September to go to Twickenham and take on the Red Roses and beat them, he said on the breakdown. Seriously, I thought it was a great performance. I honestly did, given the fact that they've had no preparation time. The fact that we played Super Rugby Aupiki how far long ago, I just don't think we've given them even the structure of a season, the opportunity. We took all of those players out of the FBC and they've been training on their own. How do you prepare for a test match when you're not in a competitive environment? And to me, that's where, at the moment, the quality of our competitions. All Blacks. Justin Marshall calls for outdated policy to be scrapped as New Zealand are not unbeatable anymore. Wilson's grip is not just with the women's structures, as he believes that it applies to the men's too, and that not enough is being done to prepare all the teams in New Zealand in order for them to be successful. Whether it be the NPC, whether it be Super Rugby, in terms of preparing our players, getting them ready, and I'm big on this, I don't think we're doing enough, he continued. When does high performance start? Well, when a kid starts throwing a ball around and he learns how to catch and pass, he learns how to tackle, to beat a man with the ball, to use the ball, not playing in a 1-3-3-1 when he's 10 years old and coaches are doing that. This led him to make the audacious claim that when he and the likes of Mills Miliena and Justin Marshall rose to the international stage, that they were better prepared to thrive at the level than the current crop of New Zealand players. This education of the game, and I hear about structures all the time, that's not the freedom of what our DNA is. For me, I'm not sure our players are as advanced as they were when we started. When we got our opportunities, we were more ready, I believe, for the international level, he said. All Black star reveals the common trend which is harming New Zealand under Scott Robertson. Wilson pins this on the decline in the quality of coaches in New Zealand at the lower levels as well as at Super Rugby, with many of the top coaches heading abroad or being lost to the system. I start thinking about the level of coaching we had at all levels. Remember when we had the likes of Dave Rennie, who was coaching at Super Rugby level? He's an international level coach, he said. You think about the guys and the pathways they've come through, and they were competing at Super Rugby level, so the education for them. I come back to the coaching side of it, the fact that you need to develop coaches. You need to help the parents out there, you need to help the teachers out there to help teach the skills, not just to make it look good. So when you get a player who then does graduate to the New Zealand under-20s, he's closer, he's developed more skills, and when he does get a Super Rugby contract or an NPC contract, the coaches are not spending time teaching him how to catch and pass and how to kick a ball and how to compete in the air and take a high ball. You're actually teaching them this is how we want to play as a team. He concluded that the shortcomings are evident at the senior international level where the top players are making too many mistakes. We make too many errors for international sides when we're a team that has to play with the ball, because if we have to kick the ball away, I can guarantee you it's going to be a long time before we get consistency, because we are talking about our kicking game, not talking about our ball in hand. We've got capabilities, we're not using it, he said. Read more, Israel Dag. How the hell do we not want South Africa a part of our own? Justin Marshall says the Springboks now have a powerful tool. The All Blacks have lost. Artie Savia was named World Rugby Player of the Year in 2023, having played at number 8. But Jeff Wilson believes he should be moved. All Blacks great Jeff Wilson is concerned about the direction of the All Blacks under Scott Robertson. Former All Blacks flyer Jeff Wilson has singled out one of the Springboks for special praise after his display in Johannesburg on Saturday. So, what do you think about Jeff Wilson's comments? He's seen a lot of rugby through the years and has been part of the All Blacks legacy. But do you agree with his views on the current state of coaching and preparation in New Zealand rugby? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates or fresh content. There's always something exciting happening with the All Blacks, and you don't want to miss out. Hit that bell and stay tuned for more insights, match analysis, and exclusive interviews. Summary: Jeff Wilson, the former All Black, expressed concerns about the state of New Zealand rugby, particularly the quality of coaching from grassroots to professional levels. He believes that young players today aren't as well prepared as they were during his playing days. He also criticized the lack of competitive preparation for both the All Blacks and Black Ferns, citing recent losses to the Springboks and Red Roses. Wilson pointed to a decline in coaching quality at Super Rugby and NPC levels and emphasized the need for better development for coaches and players. What are your thoughts on his perspective? Rassie Erasmus unhappy after dishonest Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu took unnecessary All Blacks gamble. Springboks fly half Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu and head coach Rassie Erasmus. Rassie Erasmus has revealed that fly half Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu suffered a knee injury before the first test with the All Blacks. The talented youngster has enjoyed a remarkable year, becoming the Springboks' first choice with a series of fine displays. Feinberg-Mngomezulu started the first game against New Zealand in Johannesburg, but, according to Erasmus, he should not have been involved. South Africa's head coach stated that the playmaker hid the injury from the coaching staff and only revealed it after the 31-27 victory. The 22-year-old has since undergone surgery and will miss the final 2 games of the Rugby Championship, but he will be back for the November series. Sasha will only be ready for the end-of-year tour. He injured his knee before the first test against the All Blacks and he played in that game, Erasmus said. The next week on the Wednesday, I asked him why he was limping and he said he injured his knee last week. I wanted to pull him out of that team because he was limping on the field even. Springboks Team v Argentina. Winners and losers as unpredictable. Rassie rewards all-time great but overlooks Bulls star. Handré Pollard started the second game with the All Blacks while Feinberg-Mngomezulu was shifted to the bench. The fly half did come on after the break as he helped the Springboks to an 18-12 triumph in Cape Town. But South Africa's breakout star has now been ruled out for the next month. That's what our players must understand. We have respect for everybody, but we must be honest when it comes to injuries, Erasmus said. Nobody who's got an injury and 80% ready is better than a Springbok who has no injuries and is 100% ready. So Sasha is lucky that we won those test matches because he gambled a bit. He is having the operation now. I'm not sure exactly what is wrong with the knee, but he will only be ready in 4.5 weeks. Pollard once again lines up at 10 this weekend as the Springboks attempt to win their first rugby championship title since 2019. They have claimed 4 successive victories in 2024 so far and know that another success, this time out in Argentina, will secure the silverware. Erasmus has made 10 changes to the South Africa team that defeated the All Blacks with Salman Morat captaining the side. Could also be a big day for another second row, the great Eben Etzebeth, who will equal Victor Matfield's record as the most capped Springbok. Read more. Springboks team. Rassie Erasmus makes 10 changes as Boks chase record run and Eben Etzebeth matches Matfield against Argentina.